that kind of thing. So we just see, imagine how the future will be if the judgment of the Supreme Court in and of itself becomes law, becomes a major precedence of reference, and we see contradictions, we see inconsistencies, we see that in this way they go this way, in this way they go this way, and we also see faults that several SANs will find, will draw attention to. Then what will become of the system of teaching the law? Because it does seem that every nation has its own right to formulate her laws. Okay, so how do we teach these other persons, the upcoming judges, what would they base their judgments on? I think this was an opportunity. In fact, before the end of this administration, I believe the APC will do something about it, even if it means revisiting all these cases, reviewing them, and correcting the wrongs in them. We will be better off for it. But just to gloss over it and play, infallibility, and just play to the gallery that we are the highest court, we cannot matter. We say it, not meaning it in tongue in cheek, because in other platforms we also admit that it is possible. We admit that we've made certain mistakes, or there are gray areas. Then it lies on the purview of the Nigeria Judicial Commission and the Chief Justice of Nigeria to set up a committee to review these controversial cases at the Supreme Court level and harmonize these cases, come up with a final stance on them, so that the legal profession will be spared of chaos, of anarchy, confusion. This lawyer will claim this lawyer will claim this. At the end of the day, it will now be a matter of the judge's discretion. Fear that law. That is a matter of judge's discretion. It's now becoming more emotional than legal.
I've come to realize that this is not new to Nigerian jurisprudence space, when the emotions of the judge affect the kind of judgment he gives. Okay. I've seen that happening in several other, jurisprudences across the world. You find certain stories maybe in the United States, and they'll tell you that, you're going to this particular judge, you can't be sure that you're going to be handed this amount of sentence. He's very strict when it comes to issues like this. Or you find someone who want to pander to having a certain government putting a certain person in the Supreme Court because they believe, this person will make sure that what we have here is more liberal judge, or we're going to have a more conservative person. So it's not just new to Nigeria. And it's very difficult for you to say as a judge, and then in interpreting a case, that your own interpretation, personal interpretation to that case doesn't come on board. Now, it depends on, if I've had a terrible childhood, and perhaps I've seen how terrible my mother was to my father growing up, and that didn't happen, thankfully. But I'm setting an example. And then I'm in court presiding over a case where a mother is doing something similar. And then instead of handing over, and the court says here that you're supposed to give minimum of 7 years, maybe if you find the person guilty, minimum of 7 years. I probably will hand over 20 14. Years, extra. Yeah. Because I've not done anything really wrong here, but it is because of my personal issues I've had growing up. So, I've interpreted into this case. So I'm saying that we expect judges to be computers. We expect them to be devoid of emotion, so to say. They're blindfolded. But that is so untrue.
So what if
the evidences you provide before the judges will also be interpreted with their personal emotions?
Of course, fine. I agree with you. What if in the case of Nigeria, what applies in the US, a sympathy for the LGBT and other things, immigration laws and all that. What if in the case of Nigeria, it particularly plays out as pro APC judges and
I think
it's still the same thing. Emotions will tend
hold
to
on.
pander towards
Leave
based on their experience.
Leave emotions out of it. The case before them has to do with political parties.
Yes.
And between several parties.
And that means the judgment will definitely go one way or the other.
Yes.
And it will favor one party or the other. So the rest of us now interpret that to be a pro-PDP or a pro-APC.
How did you interpret what goes on in other countries?
Hold on now. Like I said earlier on, where you're making it look like this judge is a pro PDP person or a pro APC
I'm making
person.
it look like there is a possibility.
No, you just said here that if they make cases, how do we interpret cases when they make judgments that are pro parties? Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm saying that in any which case, as long as the issue before the court is an issue of a political party, then it will be pro anything at all, no matter which way they take it. No matter how the judgment comes, it will be pro anything. That is how the rest of us will interpret it.
Of course.
There's nothing here that makes it solid fact that yes, indeed, that judge or this group of judges are pro this party or pro that party.
It comes from, when a judge has been consistent, like Justice Okonaban, and what the judgment he handed down on Olisametu and all that. Okay, so when a judge,
what happened to that?
When a judge, I'm not saying he's right or wrong.
Okay.
But certain
wait,
persons
wait,
predicted that this was going to be the outcome.
Okay,
consistently, certain judges like Mary Odili has been pro certain parties.
I know which party.
Has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
We hear of these words every day. Never lie, cheat, steal, or drink. If you must lie, lie in the hands of the one you love. If you must steal away from bad company. If you must cheat death.
And if you must drink in the moments that take your breath away. Remember, happiness is free. Don't be a fool. Proudly brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, voice of the people.
I am a proud Nigerian. I have been placed here by God for a time such as this.
The degradation, challenges, and problems faced by Nigeria are the perfect backdrop for me to develop and utilize my God-given potential.
I will not complain. I will not criticize. Rather, I will use my skills, gifts, relationships,
and experience to find long-lasting and revolutionary solutions to the many challenges confronting Nigeria.
Nigeria will rise again.
Because I am here, I will leave this nation
a better place than I met it. I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth.
I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth. So help me God.
Let me tell you how I got this far.
This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, voice of the people.
Hold on, Kata. No, don't say else. Just bring 5,000 now.
Only
Only.
make the Qatar day. Make the cold remain.
Yeah, they worry.
You were not aware you're a thief. Now that you know that your money is coming from a thief, do you not see why you're a thief?
All right, still talking about affairs of the federal government. We understand also that the federal government...
Welcome to today's edition of Beats and Pieces in your premium talk and news with...
It's going to be 1-1 Morata. 1-0 is never good enough.
That's why we're called the voice of the people. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Act.
Here we go.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people. Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Hello and good morning. Here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Annie Abdul Salam. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike will today swear in 9 commissioner designates after their screening and confirmation by the Rivers State House of Assembly. Speaker Ikunyo Wajibani named the commissioners designate as Eloka Tasie Amadi, Boma Iyaye, Diamete Herbert Miller, Tonye Oyinde, Tamuno Sisi Gogo Jaja, Ibix Tamuno, Emeka Onowu, Professor Chike Princewill, and Prince Ohia.
Or the opinion or in support that the nominees screened be confirmed by this House. And the nominees are as follows: Barrister Eloka Tasie Amadi, Bukoma Iyaye, Mudamete Herbert Miller, Tonye Oniide, Dr. Tamuno Sisi Gogo Jaja, Dr. Ibix Tamuno, Honorable Emeka Onowu, Professor Chike Princewill, and Mr. Ohia Prince.
Meanwhile, State Commissioner for Information and Communication, Paulinus Inserim, in a statement, said the confirmed individuals would be inaugurated into the Rivers State Executive Council later today at Government House, Port Harcourt. The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Adams Oshomole, has commended the judgment of the Supreme Court on the Imo State governorship election. Oshomole said the judgment of the Apex Court has affirmed that the choice of the people of Imo State has been respected. The APC national chairman spoke shortly after the Supreme Court dismissed the application of Emeka Ihedioha, asking the court to review its judgment, which sacked him as governor of Imo State. House of Representatives has suspended plenary for 2 weeks to screen and detect symptoms of the deadly coronavirus. The House said the period will allow the management of the national officers provide screening and detection facilities at the complex. The decision to suspend plenary for 2 weeks was reached after a motion by the minority leader Ndudi Elumelu. Now to the foreign scene. South Africa has slipped into recession in the final 3 months of 2019, the second contraction to hit the economy in as many years. It is the third recession the continent's most industrialized economy has suffered since the end of apartheid in 1994, but the second since President Cyril Ramaphosa came to power in 2018. Statistics shows that South Africa, in its latest report, said the weak performance piles pressure on Ramaphosa's administration, which has been struggling to keep his election pledge to revive economic activities in one of Africa's powerhouses. Instead, South Africa remains dogged by high and rising debts, low growth, and soaring unemployment. Stats SA adds that weak agriculture output and transport are the main drags on the growth in the last quarter, followed by construction, mining, and manufacturing, which outweighed positive contributions from finance and government spending. That wraps the news update here on Today 95.1 FM. Thank you for listening. Have a good morning.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM. Every day on Today 95.1 FM, there's always an opportunity to comment and air your views on our various programs. It's not just about us, it's about your opinion. Join us on the number 0701 933 9962. That's our WhatsApp application. Be informed, be educated, and have fun. We are Today 95.1 FM, voice of the people.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
It's exactly 5 minutes after 10, and you're listening to Today 95.1 FM. I've got with me in the studio representatives of U Great International, Mr. Wealth and Mrs. Lovett. Good to have you both. Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, madam.
All right, so let's start from the very first. What is U Great International?
Okay. U Great International is a Malaysian company. They just arrived in Nigeria. They're 2 weeks plus now. So it's a healthcare product company. Okay. So it's all about health. How people can have their health today. So that is what U Great is all about. They come so Nigerians can live a healthy lifestyle.
All right. So you say it's Malaysian. How long have they been in existence in Malaysia?
Okay, they are just barely 6 months old in Malaysia.
Okay.
Yeah, they just did their pre-launch last Saturday, being the 29th of February, 2020.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then the very first markets you're coming into will be Nigeria.
In Africa.
In Africa.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you said they're a health-based
stem cell.
organization.
Yeah.
So what are U Great International products? Let me start with that.
Okay, our product is called stem cell. Okay, when we say stem cell, it's a new technology whereby people have their health back to them. By the use of the stem cell product, it goes a long way to restore things that have been damaged in our cells, in our system, and all the organs that are made up of the body. When you use stem cell products, you see how your system will come back, how cute, how young. The system from the inside to the outside. Those dead cells that are no longer functional will be replaced by the use of stem cell. So that's why here we to preach to Port Harcourt people, for people to know more about stem cell, the health benefit behind the use of stem cells. So that's what we're calling for the general public on our program we have tomorrow. So
All
that.
right. So before we get to that, do you have approval from authorizing agencies here in Nigeria? One of them will be NAFDAC.
Yes, of course.
NAFDAC approved.
Yes, we have.
Oh, okay, good. So you have a seminar coming up tomorrow?
Definitely.
All right, then. What's the seminar about?
Okay, actually, the seminar is about to sensitize people about our products. Here's a sample of our products.
All right.
So it's to sensitize people about our product. Our product is actually double stem cell. We have single stem cell and we have what is called double stem cell. A double stem cell does twice of what a single stem cell does. So it's to sensitize people about the functionality of our products, how effective they are, and also our wonderful marketing plan, how you can make some money from U Great International. Very, very important. You know, some of us are healthy, like myself. I said I'm healthy, but I need a lot of money. So that's why we are actually keen into this company.
All right. So how can I make money from U Great International?
Wow. That's a very good question. You can come into U Great as a member or as an investor. If you're coming in as an investor, you'll be earning a certain percentage monthly from the global sales of the product. So that's why we're having the seminar tomorrow, so that we'll tell the public more about our company and our different payment plans.
All right, then. When is the first leaders or meeting or seminar coming up in Port Harcourt?
Okay, yes. Actually, this is the first time we'll be unveiling this company in not just Port Harcourt, in Niger Delta. Yes.
Nigeria or Niger Delta?
Niger Delta. It's been unveiled in Lagos. It's been unveiled in Dubai. It's been unveiled in other countries. But in Niger Delta,
right.
This is the first time we'll be doing that tomorrow. So we're actually looking for leaders, people that want to run this company with us in Niger Delta. And it's tomorrow at Excelsior Plaza, opposite St. John's Catholic Church, by that St. John's bus stop, Iwofe Road, Port Harcourt. So if you're coming tomorrow, you do well to call the numbers
080 38 75 1545.
Call the number again.
080 38 75 1545.
All right. So, you agree this international Malaysian company is coming into Nigeria. Well, it has been in Nigeria, beg your pardon, but you're launching here in the Niger Delta. You're looking for investors, and you're also saying that aside investment, the package itself or the product itself is great
Very.
for personal health issues. And you said this is what, one single stem cell or double?
No, this is double stem cell.
Double stem
I
cell.
take this every day now.
Okay, double
And
stem.
it makes
then
me feel
it helps
strong.
regenerate the body.
Rejuvenate,
Yes.
Okay.
Rejuvenate dead cells, help you feel
Replicate,
younger, replicate
yeah.
cells. So
And
that's
you
what it is.
also have said that this has NAFDAC's approval.
Yes, FDA, NAFDAC
All right.
approved.
Okay, so there's a great platform where people can make money out of this, and I'm sure that for so many of us in Nigeria, this is what we'll be interested in. Yes, we're interested in health, but we also want to know how we can make money out of this. Apart from people who are going to partner and bring money, is there any room for other people too? Because I know some people might be thinking, I don't have plenty money. When I hear partners, people are looking for plenty money. So, I mean, is this also open for those who don't have that much money?
Yes, if you have less than 30K, less than 30,000 naira,
You're
you can
good to
come into
go.
this company and make
A lot of money.
Yes, my partner here, she has made a lot of money. She
Tell
just,
me about it.
She just joined in with 28
Yeah,
plus.
let me just say something. You know, when the business came, that was about 2 weeks ago, because I'm somebody who likes to take risk. Before I share the idea with people, I like to use myself as sacrifice first. That's what I do. So when the business was presented to me, I looked at it and I saw feature in it. So what I did, I quickly started with the least package. But by the time I saw what was there, that is the 28,500, I have to quickly pay more money to migrate myself to that of 399,000 because I know there's great benefit in it. So anybody can start from somewhere. From the money you make from the company, there is money.
You can use that money to migrate.
Yeah, that was what I did. I used the money I made. And this thing I'm telling you, I was just a week old in the business, and I used the money with the few people that I just introduced the business to. I used it to migrate myself. And this is one of the cheapest stem cell ever we have had in Nigeria. It's affordable. So it's open to everybody. It's not on the high side. Anybody can do it. So that's why we're calling on the general public.
Okay, the product itself, for people who, we understand we can make money out of it, but the product itself, how expensive is the product?
Our product is not expensive. It's affordable to anybody. My partner can say more about it.
All right,
Okay.
so how much is it?
Our product, well, you know, what we sell for people who are members of the company is different from what we sell to outsiders. Yes. The other stem cell products that cost as high as 30-something thousand for a pack, but ours is less than 30,000 for a pack for outside members. Meanwhile, if you're a member with 28,500, you have 2 packs already. So if you're selling them for 25,000, you're already making money. That's why I can afford to give you this one.
Oh, you gave me this one?
Yeah, I gave you this one.
Okay, I thought you were just trying to introduce them.
No, I gave you this one.
And a sachet contains 3,000 milligrams. That's why it's double stem cell.
All right. Did they have it before breakfast? I've already had breakfast. Shame.
Oh, at night.
So I'll take it before
before you sleep.
All right. So let's get your numbers to call again and where this seminar will be holding.
Okay, the seminar will be holding tomorrow at Iwofe Road, Excelsior Plaza, opposite St. John's Catholic Church by St. John's Bus Stop, Iwofe Road, Port Harcourt. Please, I expect everybody to be there. And the phone number is
080 38 75 1545. 080 38 75 1545. And the plaza is just at the junction. When you get to St. John's Bus Stop, just ask anybody. The only plaza that is there.
All right then.
Yeah.
Okay, so do they have to pay to attend the seminar?
No, it's totally free. All you need to do is send yes, 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 to that phone number again.
080 38 75 1545. 080 38 75 1545.
All right, so just before I say thank you very much for coming into the show, let's share your last words with your listeners.
Please, I expect everybody in Niger Delta. This is a new business, a new stem cell business.
Everybody in Niger Delta, that plaza will not hold up.
We're actually looking for key leaders,
Yeah.
people that want to run our company with us. So that's why I said everybody, every key leader in Niger Delta that wants to run with this company. And if you're living in Owerri, in Bayelsa, in Akwa Ibom, you can start planning your trip tomorrow.
Delta.
To come to Port Harcourt, to come to Warfare Road, and just send YES to that number, and you'll be there, and we'll get you signed up. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right, just stay with me. Opinion poll continues in just a moment.
There is never a dull moment of this dial.
But let's get on now to what is happening here in Nigeria.
In the southwest, we have 136, south 131, southeast 30. I'm not talking about the ones that died months ago. And Mr. President is busy traveling.
The foundation in this democratic era we're experiencing today, honestly, believe me, the person who soiled it is Obasanjo. At the time he was tearing his party card, I was very ashamed. He didn't notice that he was tearing himself.
How long will you keep on complaining? We keep you informed, thrilled, and inspired.
I need to select. I like every kind of woman. But man, light skin does it for me. No, I'm not racist. That's what I'm saying. I could take anybody. You know what I'm saying?
We are your premium talk, news, and sports radio. Today, 95.1 FM. Don't touch that dial.
All right. We've got to go. It's 11:31.
This is Today.
Peace is a situation where there is no war or violence in a society. Peace allows wealth to accumulate and the society to advance.
Through peace, generations of wealth, education, technology can build up, thereby making people very prosperous and happy.
Without peace, there will be violence, war, and underdevelopment in our society. The most disadvantageous peace is far better than the most just war. Let us embrace peace for a better society.
This message is brought to you by your premium talk radio, Today 95.1 FM.
It's what I pray for. All around the world. It's what I pray for. For my
We hear of these words every day. Never lie, cheat, steal, or drink.
What?
If you must lie, lie in the hands of the one you love. If you must steal away from bad company. If you must cheat death.
And if you must drink in the moments that take your breath away. Remember, happiness is free. Don't be a fool. Proudly brought to you by Today 95.1 FM. Voice of the people.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
Wake up to today's quest.
wake up.
All the news and information you need in one go. Get started with the best of sports, lifestyle, analysis, and Annie.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Can you feel it? Wake up to today's quest with Annie on Today 95.1 FM from 6 to 11 a.m. weekdays. Fantastic.
after 10, and you're listening to Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. We have here for Opinion Poll 2023 and Tinubu's rumored presidential ambition. If it is true that the national leader of the All Progressives Congress and former governor of Lagos State, Bola Tinubu, is nursing a presidential ambition, as speculated, he will have to take some important steps to make it a reality. Charity, they say, begins at home. Tinubu has to start working on the collective aspirations of the Yoruba for a start. Like the late Basharum Moshood Abiola, he should reach out to the people through objective philanthropism. I call it objective because Abiola in those days had research fellows. He did the subtle underground job for him. The fact that Tinubu is a cheerful giver who takes great delight in helping other people in need has never been in doubt. But the truth is that he funnels lots of money through channels that are mostly beyond the reach of people. Any distribution mechanism adopted by a political campaign organization must be pragmatic, driven, and assertive. He should reach out to the ordinary and voiceless people and find a way to restore their confidence in government as well as address their frustrations. To make the journey to the presidency easier, Tinubu must ensure that he has the unalloyed support of a united and stronger Southwest. As a true Asiwaju of Yoruba land, he has to reconcile warring political groups within the geopolitical zone without necessarily relying on his familiar but not so effective approach. The former governor needs image makers and people who can help him make decisions that will be hard to fold. Nevertheless, he is reputed to be a visionary and master planner who is capable of doing amazing things. As the chief executive of Lagos for 8 years, he didn't construct or commission bridges or stadia while his tenure lasted, but he laid the foundation for a new, secure, prosperous, and vibrant Lagos. Tinubu's party, the APC, beat the opposition People's Democratic Party with a margin of just 51% in the 2019 general elections in the Southwest. This shows that he has a lot of work to do in the Southwest before going to other zones. The ruling party currently behaves as if it has exclusive rights over Nigeria, and as if it is the only party that has the solutions to the country's leadership-inflicted problems is no longer news. This is not only troubling, but it's also capable of threatening this once-in-a-lifetime dream. Yes, Nigeria might have leaders who become presidents without home support. However, with a man like Tinubu and what he has done for humanity within and outside the Southwest, a loss at home will not only demean his status, but also cast a negative political slur on the collective negotiating capacity of the Yoruba. I'll just pause here first of all. I think it's not the first time that Tinubu's name is thrown into the presidential race of 2023. I mean, in the past, he's always been dragged up for the different elections. And yet for 2023, he's being projected again. As a matter of fact, there are rumors about them perhaps getting some super political party. It might not be APC, definitely not PDP, but perhaps a coalition somewhere where they'll take people from both parties and he will emerge on that front and he'll be able to cash in on that and get to the ticket. Whatever it is, Tinubu's name somehow hasn't been too far away from 2023. If you mention 2023, somewhere down the line, Tinubu's name will pop up. But there's so many people who are saying, unfortunately, his name pops up, but 2023 is not the year for Tinubu. They understand that perhaps the crescendo for Tinubu will have been some 2014, 2015 year. But for 2023, there's so much that has happened now that the people are moving away from a Tinubu factor or a Tinubu person or a Tinubu kind of administration. And the Nigerian people perhaps see far more than what the Tinubu administration could possibly present. As much as he's touted as a person who tried to turn around the fortunes of Lagos State then, they still believe that what happens in the Nigerian space is not what they think Tinubu will be able to deliver in 2023. Obviously, within the Southwest, he also has his demons to contend with, and before you speak of the larger space of Nigeria. But that doesn't stop the several pages of the newspapers who have his name and 2023 together, or perhaps it popping up in the news somewhere. So let's get to that now real quickly. Fine Face Dumnamene, what do you think 2023 and Tinubu's rumored presidential ambition?
Well, this is not the first time we are getting to hear about Tinubu having ambition to be president of Nigeria. And this may not also be the last time. And I know that a lot of politicians are already strategizing ahead of 2023, especially when the incumbent president is barred from seeking re-election by the Constitution. So basically, other members of the party and other parties will be jostling for power ahead of time. But right now, this rumor, as it is put, and his ambition, to me, is just to test the waters, to see what will be people's reaction and whether it is something that, people can go by and what have you. By 2023, Tinubu will be about 70 years of age. And by the constitutional provision, he can still run as president. But to me, I think we should look inwards and kick out some of these people that have been there since 1999 to date. This is someone that became a governor in 1999, where quite well he laid the foundation for the prosperity of Lagos today, and he also worked towards the stability of Lagos to an extent. But then his overbearing godfatherism, prebender politics of clientele we have in Lagos has also mutilated, the situation there. But that is not enough to prevent him from seeking to be president, which is what the Constitution permits him to do. But I think that what we need to do at this point in time is not to recycle politicians. It is not on any record that for you to be president of Nigeria, you must first be governor, or you must first be senator, or you must first be deputy governor, or you must be House of Reps before you can be president. Anybody that has what it takes to drive that office should come forward and put his or herself forward. And I think that other parts of the world, to a very large extent, are moving away from bringing their best old men to bringing their best young men to rule. Now, France, for instance, we learned of, the current president, Macron, how he was here in Nigeria and what he was doing, and at the age he became president and what have you. He's moving that country well. I think that we shouldn't recycle politicians anymore. We should look amongst Nigerians and pick someone that can lead us. Nigeria is the hope of Africa. If Nigeria sneezes, like it is said, the world will catch cold. By virtue of our population, by virtue of our resources, and we have to marry these two together to be able to bring out one person that will drive this country. And doing so should not be based on partisan strengths. It should be based on national a national drive to take the country to the next level. It should be based on selecting the best amongst us to drive us. If we continue this pattern of, because somebody is a big party stalwart, because somebody has been this before, because somebody, is the person that has the resources to do, we will not move to the next level. I'm not a very good fan of football, but I know the same thing that is plaguing our national leadership is also plaguing our football teams to an extent whereby out of about 200 million people, as our population is said to be today, we cannot select 11 persons that can play and win for us. It is a problem that we cannot look among about 200 million people and pick one good, competent person that will give support from north, south, east, and west and make president and give the person all that he needs to take the country to the next level. We are looking at what we play out here. But what the APC must note and what the PDP must note as the two frontal political parties in Nigeria is that the candidate they bring forward for 2023 will determine their winning or their losing the elections in this country.
All right. Are your thoughts there? Is it Chukwurichis?
Yes. If there is a chance for the South, I think Tinubu is the man. Who else do we have to contend with Tinubu from the Southwest? Who else? It's not by saying it, yes, no part of the Constitution, but this is Nigeria. We know how it works here. Who else? He has paid his dues. He has right to his ambitions. He has fortified those ambitions by strengthening his godfather status. It has worked for him. It worked for him in 2019. If he has the opportunity, why not? Do we realize that, the attention is now shifting from the north all of a sudden to the south? The news items we get to hear these days. So Tinubu should play his game right. Just as the author said, I think the tide is standing away from Tinubu, unfortunately. Okay, the nature of Nigerian politics is such that he may not find it easy. if there is an alternative to Tinubu from somewhere else in the south, I dare say someone like Right Honorable Chibike Rotimi Amechi, if there is an alternative to Tinubu and he is being considered, I think he would be the preferred candidate. Unfortunately, more so, I don't see anyone from the southeast. I wish we could find one.
Peter Obi.
No, not at all.
Why?
He was even rejected by his colleagues, even as a vice presidential candidate. In fact, they managed him. So at best, he would be good for vice president. As a candidate for vice president. Certainly not the president. Even his Igbo brethren will reject him for presidency. He probably lacks that. Maybe he has not attained that level, so to speak. So that's it. So we should allow Tinubu to play his role. And if we don't like him, we better stop him. But if we can't, he will have his way. But I wish it will not go back to the southwest. I wish it will come back to the south or the southeast. Either the south or the southeast. I see it's very difficult for you to come to the southeast because it seems they are not ready. Then I think Right Honorable Chibike Rotimi Amechi should be considered. He's my preferred candidate.
Obviously, you've mentioned it like 6 times. If you want to pay for a slot to advertise, please, I'm willing to sell. But let me get to Daniel before we consider these issues that are arising. Let me get you here.
Yes, from what the writer said, Tinubu is still the god with the small g in Southwest. Whether the election was 51 to 49, it has to do with national election. But when it comes to the local election in the Southwest, Tinubu is still that man to watch out for. When he started in 1999, led by then the Afenifere group, which brought the Southwest governors then, and there were crises, and he single-handedly moved away and went out of the AD then to form the AC. In his government then, he had this Rauf Aregbesola as commissioners. He has Lai Mohammed as the chief of staff. Before even the former governor, who is now the Minister for Works, came on board. What Tinubu did was that he groomed some guys from the Southwest, including the man who is now the DG. Of a budget and Ben Akabweze. He groomed them and actually released them to their various states, including Kayode Fayemi, to go and contest election. That is a man who saw where he was going, what he needed to do, and how he would get to those places. He groomed them as commissioners, he groomed them as personal assistants, groomed them as chief of staffs, and actually made them to go back to their state. And he financed them contest elections. The current vice president was his commissioner for is it justice they call them now? Attorney General of Lagos State. Then so you can see who the man is from. He came to what we know now as Edo State, financed Adams Oshiomhole, supported as ACN governor, where they won elections.
Okay,
in Edo State, with some other. So he has been able to spread, but the problem he had then was the core knot, and the only thing he needed was to have put his support with Buhari and that one gel, and they were able to remove PDP. I like his recruitment style. But for me, I have a problem with these people who have this expansionist tendency of wanting to take over the whole place. And then Tinubu is that kind of a person. But his recruitment style, I have never seen him recruit somebody and then you question the ability of that person. He's good at recruiting people and putting them for positions.
In strategic positions.
Yes, he's good at that. In fact, people that he has raised in life who had worked with him, you dare not even question the ability to do that job. Now again, where they now have the presidency, and for me, it's a clear-cut question to say, if this thing is happening in the APC, the economy has still not bounced back, the security issues, what are his personal opinion about it? What are his... We are now beginning to get to a stage in Nigeria where we want to question the credentials of people who are coming to, who want to rule us as president of this nation. And for me, he really don't fit into, because after he left as Lagos State Governor, that's my personal opinion now.
Yeah.
This man in Ministry of Works now,
Fashola.
made nonsense of what I call Tinubu's achievement, because what Fashola was able to achieve at that time, including making those things, institutionalizing them, that is, going to the Senate of Assembly, making a law that if you do this, even him as a person cannot go against us. So I am not seeing that 21st century leader who can galvanize between the young, the old, the middle. I don't see. I only saw a man who had done this, who had done that. You know, up to the extent he earned him that position of national leader. He does not have any position.
No, national leader.
He does not. But he attends every meeting of the APC. There is no particular thing to say this is Tinubu's position. They only just call him national leader.
He's national leader is not a position.
No. What I'm saying is that, like the PDP, the APC national chairman,
yes,
he contested that people agreed they vote. He's on there. There was nothing. They only call him national leader.
Some sort of compensation.
National leader, and he attends every meeting. Every other person who attend, he will be there. He's the national leader. So I would want him to continue that level of that national leader at his own political party to stabilize and look for somebody else, whether amongst the persons he has groomed, whether amongst the persons he has seen, raise these people.
Among the persons he has groomed is Fayemi.
Abba Fashola.
No, but I've heard of Fayemi perhaps being thrown into that space. I've heard Fayemi.
No, but I would, instead of Fayemi, I would prefer a Fashola. For me,
instead of Fashola or Fayemi, I would prefer a Professor Osibanjo.
All right.
No, but okay. Now let me just conclude. In 2019 election, there were only one very most important thing that was used to campaign in the southwest, that was used to campaign in the north, that was used to campaign in Nigeria, which was the fact that the government is delivering on railway. Railway was a major campaign, and the success that they have achieved on that. And if you look at the man behind that is Rotimi Chibuike Amici. And so you also cannot rule away when you say, for example, the presidency moved to the south. The south comprises the south, comprises the southeast, comprises the southwest. So I would want to see people of that age bracket now. Let me use our age bracket to say the Amichis, the Fayemis, the Fasholas. I don't want to see the Tinubu. No.
Yeah.
So, like I said, a lot of people felt that at his peak time, when he hit his crescendo, was 2014. If he had emerged at that time, it would have been a good time for him. But after all this has passed, 2023, I think he's a bit too old now.
So I would also, let us also now rule out the name of Rotimi Chibuike Amici, because he made this government relevant in terms of this railway that you see and not become everywhere. Railway. He is behind it. And the things that he has achieved, I don't want to rule him out of the 2023 presidency.
That is if it is zoned to the south.
It's south. No, not to forget that thing. Well, it will not go there, forget that.
To where? Southeast?
North. No.
If it is now
presidency, go back to north. After 8 years of Buhari?
Okay, I don't know, and we pray it comes here.
It's not prayer, it will not go there.
Rivers State will be happy to